guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Right.
What's going on, everyone? ACAP24 here from HuddleGG. In today's video, we're going to show you the easiest way to get 5 to 7 yards pretty much every time you run this setup. Now, if this is the first time checking out our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification to make sure that you never miss any of our uploads. What we're talking about today is makeshift screens. It's a concept that I've used in the past, and it's something that I have a lot of success with. I haven't done anything this year or last year with it. It's kind of one of those concepts that you remember, and if you're in a particular formation that it makes sense in, you use it. And it just hadn't for me lately, right? Now, the reason why I'm reminded of this is that Master Gamer just released his latest game plan on our website on HuddleGG, and it's the Cowboys tight formations. It's the gun tight Y off, the gun tight Y off weak, and the gun tight doubles. In that game plan, he shows a really nice makeshift screen that has a lot of different options on it that really allows him to kind of get the defense to play the way he wants to play, and gets, basically all the rest of the plays to basically be easier because they have to worry about that. So what I want to do is kind of talk about makeshift screens in this video, teach you a little bit about what they are, how you can use them, and why they're so successful in setting up the rest of your offense, okay? So what I'm going to do is go into gun doubles Y off. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to make sure that you understand that you can do this out of a lot of different formations. Master did it out of a compression formation, in which really is a nice setup. I'm doing it a little bit out of a spread type where we've got 3 wide receivers and they're out wide a little bit more, and show you how to work this, okay? Now, the first component that you want to know is you want to make sure that your running back is on the short side of the field. I just feel that it makes more sense and has better spacing when you do it. The second thing is this A route. See how that's a flat route that goes all the way to the sideline? That tends to get a little bit quicker out there because of the way the route is written. So I try to start my plays with that. You can do it with a hot routed flat, but I'm gonna tell you that's just not as, I guess to me, it's not as consistent, right? So I wanna do plays that has that A route already. Next thing I wanna do is put the running back on a wheel, and I'm going to put the B on a streak. I'm just gonna stop here and just talk about this as the makeshift screen, okay? This will work pretty much against any coverage, but we're gonna add a little bit more components to it later in this video to show you how to even make it even better, okay? So if we do this, I'm gonna go against standard cover 3. This will work the same way against standard cover 4. What I mean by that they're not doing any zone drops, they're just doing what it is. You're just gonna catch it, throw it to this player, and you're gonna see how you're gonna have the ability to get about 8-9 yards on that without anybody touching you. And the reason for it is literally just watch the tight end. He's going to be my lead blocker, and you're going to see how just the curl flats are just going to go back first before they come down. You're going to see how you're going to have that ability to get those yards, right? Now, the first thing people are going to say is, well, I just play hard flats. And that's 100% an option, and most people would do that. And 2 things I'm going to tell you about hard flats. 1, it doesn't help completely stop this. It does get people closer to the players, so now you're only going to get maybe 6-7 yards instead of 7 to 10 yards. And what it also does, it just really allows you to attack the defense in a way that with your other scheme to really open up your, if you're playing hard flats, it's a lot easier to do flood routes. It's a lot easier to do a lot of different things when you make people have to play closer to the line of scrimmage, right? So we'll show you here, you throw it out here. I took a little bit longer on that throw. Just basically, I think it was a bad snap, so I basically didn't get the ability to do it. Sometimes that'll happen. You can see that you can still do it. I got some yards, but if it's, as long as it's a perfect snap, or a snap where it doesn't take my timing off, you're gonna see here that we're gonna throw this here, and you're gonna see that we're gonna still get that 7 yards. The hard flat does not get to the running back before the tight end meets him, right? You'll see here on the hard flat, the tight end is always going to be in a position. The guy gets a little bit wider, and you can see how he comes down. We're always going to have that ability to get that block. So your idea here is just to read the block. Ideally, you take it outside. As long as he touches him, you take it outside, you're going to get the most yards. You take it inside, you're going into traffic, you're going into the user, you're going into all that. You want to go that way, right? So that's what that's going to be. Next thing people are going to say, I'm going to try cover 2. All right, let's go ahead and try cover 2 real quick just to make sure you see this. Cover 2 is going to really be the same thing. Throw this ball quickly, and you can see how you're going to be able to get to the outside and get your yards. Cover 2 hard flat is basically the same thing. I'm going to tell you, the reason why this works so well is because it's simply on the premise of the A is going to get there before the RB, and he's going to take that first person that wants to tackle him, right? See how that works? You're going to get yourself an easy 9 yards, okay? So you can see this is kind of a headache if the user doesn't cover it. So if the user wants to cover it, which is going to be probably what they're going to end up doing, this is where you're going to start doing some different things to prevent them from doing it, right? So I'm going to add another route here, and I'm going to add, ideally, if you have a post, adding this post route here is the best because it's going to get some more depth. If you don't, we can still do this with a slant route. And this is predicated on one of these 2 players being a user and them sprinting over to stop it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use this guy here because most people do in order to make sure that they leave the hook curl on the play, right? So I'm just going to take this guy off just so you can see that. And what you're going to notice here again is that we're still going to be able to hit the RB, but now the Y is going to come across and we're going to go ahead and beat him where he was originally supposed to cover. And that's either or, right? If we get them to have to, sprint over there to stop this, it opens up our whole defense. Now, what we want to do here is take this one step further and talk about those type of blitzes in which people are really fond of right now. And it comes out of like the nickel 245 odd, something that we have a game plan with Dreeny. He's one of the ones that started this and basically made it really, really popular with him and his crew. Then you've got different ones where people run it in 146, people will run it out of dollar, all great defenses, right? And what it is that they're basically doing an outside 4 shell. What I mean by that is they are, let me just get the same play so we can just be consistent here. They're doing outside 4 shell. They're blitzing everybody, and a lot of times what they'll do is they'll bring this guy in. Say if this is dime 146, bring this guy in. They'll user this guy, right? And a lot of times what they're doing is they're covering the middle, and they know that they're getting to you quickly, right? So I'm just going to do it like this just to start off with. You're going to see that if they're sending both sides, they're in trouble. And the reason for that, again, is because we're going to basically be able to, go ahead and attack this in a way that they can't cover the RB right away. So I'm just going to do double slants. I'm going to show you what I mean by this. Throw this real quickly. And now you're going to have that ability to really force them to take the resources that they want to blitz with and have to put them in coverage, right? So when people start taking those resources to blitz and you know that they have to do that, now you don't have to worry so much about having to, handle all those players coming at you. You're basically going to be able to, set up your other plays because they can't blitz everybody, right? Now, what you'll see a lot is people do this, right? They're blitzing everyone and they're moving these guys over, like, something like this. And then again, this is going to be the user, this mid-read, right? Well, if they do this, what they'll end up a lot of times doing is they're going to be, manning up that, I don't say manning up, but they're going to follow that guy over there in this type of situation. Because when we move this guy over, what's going to end up happening is that 4 receivers are on the right side. They feel like they can just sell out to the right to stop this, right? So I'm going to put this X on a slant route. And unfortunately, I don't like Diggs on this route because he does this little jump step, but you'll see what I mean. Most of the time, it doesn't do this. But what you'll see is if you're going against a normal, player, you're going to see that this X is going to be able to beat this guy across the middle right there. And you've got an easy catch because you've taken the user out of the middle of the field with this blitz. So what the makeshift screen does and why I wanted to teach is it really gives you an opportunity to get easy yards against normal coverages and those that want to blitz in this cover 2 style because of the way that it really stresses them out of what they need to do. If I'm in this, what I'm going to have to try to do, to be honest with you, is I'm trying to basically take this A, I'm going to have to put him on a hard flat, right? So I've got to play, hard flat soft squats over there, say still blitz everybody, right? And I'm going to move it like this. Well, now the user's got to cover this left side over here, right? So if I'm doing this, right, because if I've done this, it's whoever holds the chalkboard last wins, right? So if we're doing something like this where we're doing the makeshift screen, I'm going to just show you how it would look this way. And what they're going to do end up here, if they do that, you're still going to be able to get that easy yards this way, right? Because we talked about the hard flat going outside, we're able to go in. So they're going to have to basically user this player, right? And if that's the case, and they're going to have to cover it themselves, what they're going to end up having to do is drop this guy over here And now you've got still got the ability to just basically, dominate. And that's why this slant going this way is also going to be nice, because if they have to go to the right, even if they're blitzing everybody, now you're going to be able to go back to the left with it, right? So obviously I didn't throw that in because of that mid read. I wanted to kind of show you what it was. But what you're going to see is that you're going to have that ability to hit one of those players. You can now, change it up and put the tight end on this, outside route. So when they go up, you're going to see here that you're going to be able to throw it to this guy. So what we're doing is we're just mixing things in, but I wanted to show you that everything builds off of the makeshift screen and why you should be adding this to your arsenal right away, because it does give the defense a lot of fits, and it does allow you to basically beat them while they blitz you and make them have to think twice about sending all the heat that they do. Go ahead and check out Matstar Gamer's game plan and show you exactly what he's doing. I can tell you that using that makeshift screen in his offense really opens it up, and I wanted to kind of show you that type of principle in this video. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's video.